The 1600 is correct. This also applies to me. I think I'm also pretty mid tier. So do me.
Okay, Costner. Everybody ready?
Wait, but
Yeah.
your
I'm gonna
criteria.
put Costner in.
Okay.
You need to count.
16-bit got caught trying to defend his buddy too much, and I just told him
Who
he's
who's
trying
he
to defend
defending?
Blind Ducky so much.
Oh,
And I'm saying, I understand Injustice 2 is a legacy game, but we're talking about over 3 games. He says, I'm just saying you guys should consider it. We've never had a legacy game. 16-bit, but the topic, ugh, stop.
Is this
trying.
low? Is this low
Stop.
key confirming Raven in Injustice 2?
You can't,
Is
yeah.
this
Wait,
what's happening?
Yeah.
wait, but stop trying. Literally, please stop trying to. You're changing the criteria. Like we have to go back and say, well, guys, remember Darth Armor? You know, he's going to get Batman again, and it's going to be a multiple game. No, we're talking about the 3 games that we're currently playing.
oh.
Like MKX clearly took a lot from Injustice and made it better. Like interactables, the way they work, the way they're blockable. Like they tried interactables in Injustice and they fucking sucked. And they realized, hey, we need to make some changes here. And they tried those changes in MKX, and I think they worked awesomely. There's a few that are kind of like weird, but overall, I think it's good. And they seem to be carrying that over to Injustice in the new game. Like if Martian's the same, assuming he's in the game, as he was in the first one, then I'm just gonna get like 80% interactable combos for 1 bar. And if they haven't learned to deal with that by now, then what the fuck is the point of a legacy game? So I'm assuming they're making some changes, and we shouldn't.
Okay, all right. I got a question. Now, I like this side question that 16-bit has. Will KDZ be good again?
In Injustice 2?
Because it's a legacy title.
Well, the problem with KDC is not whether he's good or bad at the game. It's he has a very strong mentality about games, and if he's not successful early on, he just quits and says the game is ass.
I mean, is that everybody with the EMP?
Oh,
Damn.
I mean,
That was harsh.
No, Miguel
Sorry.
did that. Gave a fair chance to NKX, and he just didn't like it.
and he didn't do well. He didn't do well in his words, and he quit.
Yeah, well, he says that the game stresses him out, which it's understandable.
Okay, I mean,
It is pretty 50-50 based.
Well,
And,
can
like,
we-
I haven't played any betas of Injustice 2, but I heard that they kind of changed the 50-50s a bit. There's more like you have to know the strings and have to know what comes after it, but I mean, it's a beta, so or alpha. I don't even know what stage it is right now, but
You guys totally avoid the question.
what was the question?
Well, am I gonna do well in the next game or not?
Well, your trajectory is pointing up. You have the same trajectory that Mr. Aquaman has, based on where you started, where you are now,
Right.
bottom 3 character in Injustice, type thing. Kind of the same thing he went through, but it was better. But oddly, it was better than MK9. Kind of. I would say.
Yeah, probably.
And in this game, it's kind of like what you're describing with Mr. Aquaman. It's like you and Mr. Aquaman are on the same exact path. So if you keep going up, you need to accelerate it. You'll get there. You don't want to keep going. You don't want to keep ascending the slow pace you're ascending. Next game, you got to make a huge jump, and that's going to be on you.
Right.
did anybody see what the score was between Illusions and
5-4. It was
5-4?
5-4. I think Illusions won.
So I'm curious why it was a 7-3. Like, I don't understand that. I mean, I don't really play Sorcerer. I tried, but I did see Illusions using the same purple circle that I was using a few times. Not as much as I did, because I'm just used to MK9 Quan stealing meter and stuff.
Okay.
But, like, if it's 5-4, like, why is that? Why is it considered 7-3? Who are you playing that makes this seem like a 7-3? Is it Saki? Because you and Saki play all the time, and it could be just more that Saki knows the way that you play, and not so much the character. Because this was something that I struggled with a lot in MK9, because I was like, me and Super Bowl were the only 2 Quans, and that's really all that we had to go by. So I'd play all the characters and all the players, and they'd know how I played, they'd know how he played, and they'd base the matchup charts on that. When really, when you look at the tools of a character, that's a little bit different than playing somebody. You could play a 7-3 and win and beat somebody 10-0
Yeah.
because they know how to play you. But actually, the tools of the character is a little bit different. So that's kind of what I was going with the.
Yeah.
It just seems weird to me. Like I played the match, I lost because I didn't know the matchup. I don't really play Sorcerer a whole lot, but I was still able to make almost every game down to the last round.
I'll be right, guys.
So I don't really see why that is a 7-3, but hopefully someone else can. B-Dog is in the chat, I'm pretty sure, and he's a really good Ferritor. I don't know if he's played my Sorcerer, but maybe someone could just shed some light on that because that was the whole point of having the little gauntlet thing. Anyways, does that make sense? Am I just rambling a little bit, or
No, it's the
Does
same.
what I
it's-
say
no,
make sense?
No, it's the same thing the Dragon went through with
Kang.
his Alien versus Liu Kang. He got 30-10 or 30-8 by Merc, and then but Dab beats Merc, and then after it's kind of like me with Aquaman, and then Dave showed me how to play the Aquaman matchup, just like Dab showed Dragon basically the blueprint how to beat Kang, and now he's never lost a set to Merc since. So it's like if you feel like if Lusions feels at 6'4" Quan, and you feel at 7'3" Ferritor, then you should pull a Dragon and go and see what he did differently, and maybe, you know.
see? Well, that's the thing. Is like I don't think it's in either of those their favor. I
Yeah.
think it's a 5-5. If I can keep him away, it's my advantage. If he gets in, then it's his advantage, and I don't think that's unfair to say. And when people think of a 6-4, they're like, "Oh my God, it's a losing matchup. It's just the worst. You can't win it." Absolutely not. But people forget that a 4-6 is a slight advantage to one character. Like you're playing a 1st to 10 and you lose one game. Like it's like 9-9 and you lose the last game. Like how is that like a huge thing? Honestly, it's not like the end of the world to say that somebody loses a matchup 4-6. So like when it comes to 5-5 and 6-4s, I'm super open about it. I don't really put too much pride or whatever on that because I'm more worried about how I play in a certain matchup. I don't care about what the overall stats are because like when I was playing Mortal Kombat 9, I could beat Kenshis with Baraka. That's a horrible matchup, but how many Kenshis know how to play Baraka? Like it's just stupid. So you kind of have to look at it that way, that, you know, you have to look at yourself versus the character. And, you know, when you're looking at these, trying to post certain matchup numbers, it is a gray area, and it doesn't really factor in who beat who in which set. It's more of what tools does this character have versus what tools does that character have. You're not going to reach a decision on it because X beat X.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, it's a 5-5. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber and I do the things out on streams.
No, I think you guys need to review the tape and just discuss it. Those people involved.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I mean, everything you're saying makes sense. People want us real quick. This guy is spamming this. Talk about all the Banes. Okay, well, all right. I'll say. He says Max, Bio, Bipolar, Rev, Wet Doba, Armor, Caillou. Okay,
Gur.
I don't know Caillou. Gur, I don't think he'll take it seriously. Armor, I'm gonna say no. Wet Doba, I'm gonna say no, because, I mean, I don't think he's serious about this whole thing. Rev, I think he quit everything. Bipolar, I think he quit everything. Bio has proven himself in the only two games he's played, so I'm gonna say yes, he will definitely. And Max Intensity, I think he quit video games, like fighting games, competitive fighting games. So
I would go with Rev for sure.
I think Rev quit, like, competing and stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. I just played him like 2 months ago. He's still really good.
I haven't talked to him forever.
Oh,
I like him. He's a good guy.
he's a nice guy. Yeah, he is a really nice guy. His Gora was awesome. I remember in like ESL Season 1 when Quan was fucking broken, and him just giving me troubles going into like the last game, and I was like, damn. I
Didn't
thought
he
this
beat
character
Rio?
sucked. Yeah, he did. He beat a lot of actually good players early on in the bracket you never really heard about.
Hey, thanks.
I don't remember like exactly who they were, but I just remember looking back at the bracket.
Thank you, Vic Damone, for subbing. Thank you very much. Flacco says, can you talk about players you think will be good or not good in Injustice 2? I think Injustice 2, everybody that was really good in Injustice 2 is going to be very good. I mean, I'm sorry. Everybody that was really good in Injustice 1 is going to be just as equally as good or better in Injustice 2.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I
Discuss.
think that when games change, some of the things that played to people's strengths, like their best traits as a fighter, that just sort of harmonize with them, some of those things change as well. And I think you're always going to see some people that will do better than expected, and you're always going to see some people that won't do as well as they previously did. I think roster changes, character changes, and system changes are big things that affect people based on their playstyle.
Speak your mind.
I think if you're a good enough player, you can just adapt. You know, like someone like Honeybee. Remember that they used to say that in NKX he was gonna suck and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bunch of bull. That thing about Sonic Fox and Honeybee and everyone being bad because footsies were back and blah, that was really dumb. But I do think, though, that there's some people that, for whatever reason, they just synergize with a particular character in a particular game. And sometimes when things change, it doesn't happen. So it'll be interesting to see.
I know. I'm personally fully planning to go 100% back to Injustice around October, November, and stay that way until April. I know me personally, I've already made that decision. If I want to compete out the gate in Injustice 2 and go to like 5 or 6 majors, make one last Evo, then I want to be prime on that engine.
Yeah.
Why one last Evo?
Hey, Jess is back.
Why one last Evo?
You never know.
No, seriously, why? You retiring? You're still young. Don't give up on the dream.
I feel like Jess really isn't in the call, but she's like in my head.
It's
And
the voice of Jeff.
Yeah, and she's like, "No, pig, look eastward. Go forth." It's like this great positivity. I love it.
Believe in yourself.
The trip does not end here.
Don't give up. You still got a couple more in you.
Limbo says young. He's like 40 now. I'm 34, and I look 20. I look 20 years younger than Limbo ever will.
Damn. Get blown up.
Limbo looks like a bus driver.
Are you retiring, Pig? Is that what's happening right now?
No, I just
you gonna
made
pull
one-
up me on your
I
own
just-
stream?
I just made one slight comment. I was like,
This
I'm just
is-
gonna go to one more Evo.
This is actually Pig of the Hut's retirement stream. He is now officially
No.
a spokesperson for Nuts
I'll
and
be
More.
at Evo next year.
Can I be?
Cue the Jimmy
I'm
Kimmel
gonna be
piano music, please.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Let me take you back. Let me take you back. Let's pretend KP2 did to my character what I wanted it to do to my character, and actually they gave my character a fighting chance in tournament. And let's say I went to Evo and got top 8 Evo. I would have quit. I would have retired. There's no doubt.
Why?
Just
Is that enough for you?
yeah, just kind of finish it out. Just, boop, retire.
So is that what you're holding out for, that top 8 Evo medal? Is that what it is?
I feel like I feel like every month in my life and I get busier. I get more work. I'm traveling more. I'm doing this. I'm going here. I'm going there. Going there. You know, everywhere. And I feel like right now I've got one really, really, really good roundhouse kick to the face shot left. I just got to take advantage of it.
He's writing a children's book. He doesn't have time for majors.
Yeah, right now Jess and I are writing a children's book about Perfect Legend. And his Perfect Legend blocking every player on stream. And
Let me ask you something. Will
What?
the 13th chapter be titled 13 and 0?
way to give away my. I was actually gonna devise the chat. I'm so pissed. You gave away my secret. I actually gave it away earlier in the stream chat. I said 20 and I said 25 pages. Because I was actually I'm gonna make it a 26-page children's book, and it was each 2 pages is gonna be a chapter, and then when I get to the end, it's gonna be 13 and 0.
Oh my god.
It was gonna be chapter 13 and 0.
You guys are so mean.
Wait, did you say weed?
Mean. Yeah, you guys are so weed. No, you guys are mean.
No,
Dude.
Jess, he
Carl
bought.
definitely dishes it out. As
Jess,
much as
see,
he can.
Yeah.
Crimson, talk to her.
Yeah, this is perfect legend we're talking about.
In
Carl
fact,
shoots off nukes and expects in return pea shooters.
yeah,
He
I,
can
you know, I
just-
watched a video about Perfect Legend, and I think it was a video of him getting 13 and 0'd, and I read all the comments about it, and everyone was just hating on him so bad, and that's what inspired me to make that video about the history of Perfect Legend, because all of these kids were like, "Oh, he'll never amount to anything. He'll never be good. He'll never be this," and I'm like, he was already a 3-time world champion.
what do you? Yeah, what
Like,
else?
how do you
want?
hate? Like, what do you? Why are you hating on this guy? He's like getting older.
That's how
and
the
like,
FGC is. They're always looking for something to fucking pick on.
I mean, but
Give shit over.
let's be fair though. Carl does set himself up a lot.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I
Was
know
he the one who got catfished?
No, that's
No.
Trey.
well,
That's
that's like half the community when you go back a few years.
Damn.
I mean,
Well,
what
not
was the,
not
what was
I
the
once.
Yeah,
Jess,
what was the,
Jess, I and you should know this about me.
Okay.
I'm king fisherman in this fucking community. Like if you wanna put me if you smell if something smells fishy, you put me on the shark boat. I'll bring it home. That's
Damn.
it. I will bring home food for all.
Bird Songs
Enough
Ayasi or whatever that weird thing's name was?
I have lost track of how many people I have busted to the core of catfish.
Do you guys remember Kevin the Man when Kevin the Man posed as a girl on Mortal Kombat United? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, we remember a lot of things about Kevo.
Oh yeah.
Pete
So
Why?
that-
What's
that
the
was-
point of the
was
catfishing? And I don't understand. Like,
Well, it's because people that wouldn't usually get dick pics from somebody want to get dick pics from somebody, so they pose as somebody who's not them, so that they can get dick pics from said player.
This one Mortal Kombat player literally commissioned me. He says, "Pig, I know you're good at this. Find out everything that you can." And I did. I found out where she worked or he worked. I found out like the city he lived in. I found out where he got the name from, the book from. I mean, there's a book called Bird Songs, and it's by the author's name was the name that she in quotation marks kept telling that's what her real name was.
Wow.
Yeah, he worked at. Oh man, did I ever tell you guys a story about how we were gonna bust Bird Songs? I found out legitimately what Starbucks the person worked at, and I was Costner. Are you in the call?
Yeah.
Did Swift Tom Hanks ever tell you about this? I was literally gonna PayPal him in Phase 3 to and I think Troy also or Josh or somebody to
Right.
drive there and go to
Man,
the
I remember
Starbucks.
these.
Yeah, Starbucks.
I don't know if they even went or not.
They were going, but then last minute they decided it's a very bad idea, and they didn't want to do it. And I was like, fine, and we just dropped it from there. I was like, I want you to get recon. I'll pay you like $20 per picture. You take a picture, and I want to post that shit everywhere and just blow this person sky high.
Damn.
This person ruined this guy's fiance relationship, like
No.
everything. Yeah.
Do you mean Joker?
Well, there was three.
He almost ruined a marriage.
No.
This dude that I know
Three
was sending pictures
Yeah.
to this person of like inappropriate stuff, and his wife
Yeah.
found out.
It wasn't just who you're talking about. It was like 3 people. But the guy, another player, is the one who asked me to do it. Not the guy you mentioned, but another guy asked me to do it, and that's.
Well, I'm glad we both.
why
know
does
it's
everyone
fucked up.
want to see what his dick looks like so bad? It's kind of gay, isn't it?
and